All right. Welcome, Darlene, to Nifty Campus podcast episode 3.
Hi.
Hi. So, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your journey getting into business and also getting into stocks and crypto. And I would like for the audience to learn a little bit about who Darlene is. So, if you want to start from the beginning and let us know your journey and what got you into also Nifty Campus, I think that'd be a great start.
Okay. Here's the Coles Notes version. So I'm 57, just to start off, and I live in Northern Ontario. I live in a beautiful community just outside of Sudbury.
Nice.
My husband and I have a 50-acre property where we operate tiny cabins and an Airbnb. Lots of stuff to do around here. It's great. It's that is a whole journey all on its own. Something that we love, and that's growing and evolving. And we just finished working with some marketing students from Laurentian who have developed a social media marketing campaign kind of plan for us. So that's going to be really exciting. That's starting in 2025.
Wonderful.
And we're really excited about that. That is a big part of what's happening right now. And I think the other big part I know for me personally is my whole new journey into stocks and crypto,
Right.
which has been really cool.
I know I've been following your journey, your success. I've been loving the morning texts on Facebook of the profits and the success that you're having. So it's great that you share with the community.
It really is. And it's been my crypto journey started a few years ago. Friends of mine were, they found this person and they all had this great, success story and 2% a day. And, so following blindly, not knowing, not having knowledge, trusting in others, which is something I will never, ever do again with my money. And I learned the hard way, and, I saw profits come in and I did take some, and seeing that made me, oh, wow, well, here, let's throw this whole big chunk down. And yeah, so that was a really hard lesson to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And then through the Airbnb, I got to meet you.
That's
and
right.
That's where my journey really began, because through you, I got an education.
Oh, that's sweet.
And now I know where to look. I know how to research things. I've learned to trust my gut, and I still have you as a sounding board, which is really awesome. And yeah, I love sharing my successes. There's been failures. We share those too.
Yep.
And I think that's just all part of the learning process.
What would you say one of your biggest failures in 2024 is?
Not being committed to my workouts.
Oh, okay.
And letting other things get in the way of something that I really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I feel great after I do it, but I've let that little, thing in the back of your head that says, yeah, just keep drinking your coffee this morning.
So do you find when you are having a balance in your life, when it comes to your fitness and your health, your physical health, your mental health, your decisions with regards to your stocks and crypto and business get better?
Yes,
Nice.
absolutely. I think they all are part and parcel, work off each other. And those things are really important so that you have clarity, right?
Right. So moving into 2025, what are some of your new goals that you have for yourself that, let's say, you wouldn't have imagined having in 2023?
One of them is, well, we've already started. We're making some changes financially on our end, and it's mortgage renewal time, so all those things kind of come into play. And now I feel like I'm poised to make better financial decisions for next year. I know where I want to put the extra money to help it grow and to see that success go through 2025. And I just feel like I think next year's focus is on the business and growing that and learning how to use social media tools much better.
Right. I think that everyone wants to do well in investing in stocks and crypto. They forget that you need money to make money in stocks. Like,
Yes.
you know, and the focus sometimes when individuals learn about the stock market and the crypto market is like, I'm going to do this for work. And it's like, ooh, that's the 5% to the 1% of the world.
Right.
And the people who make money on the stock market on a daily basis are literally considered the Olympians of their trade.
Right.
So we got to dial it back a little bit and learn how to go and make a ton of money with our earned time in a short amount of time to be
Right.
able to take that and go and grow it wherever you believe the assets that are going to grow, right?
Absolutely.
I think it's impossible to know where to put your money if you don't get a little bit of education, and instead of just listening to Facebook and TikTok reels.
Yes. And you know what? When after meeting you and learning that you had a program and that you had a whole platform called Nifty Campus, that really interested me because I believe in lifelong learning. And even though I did the course with you and, I learned all those things, I haven't stopped learning through
Yeah,
the community that you've built.
that's huge.
And, just reading other people's comments and stuff and seeing how other people look at things a little differently. It's really great.
It's a learning experience for myself too. Looking back on my life 5 years ago, if you'd asked me that I would be managing a community of like-minded, cool people that are investing in the world assets that the world are looking at right now, and we got into these projects before the world started talking about them,
Yes.
it's a huge responsibility, but it's a huge what's the word I'm looking for? Passion. It's a joy, like it's a little bit of a pat on my shoulder, you know what I mean? Like I'm honored.
Absolutely.
Honored is the word I was looking for. I'm honored to be able to take on this type of responsibility and offer continuous education, because the market in the world is constantly changing. So it's very difficult to just have a one track plan in crypto and the stock market and just business in general.
I agree. And,
Yeah.
next year we want to focus more on the event side of things here.
Oh,
We hosted a really great wedding this fall, and that's
yeah.
where we want to go.
Yeah.
So,
I remember when we were talking offline a few times and brainstorming about Airbnb businesses and stuff like that. We talked about events and how that could be such a huge game changer. And it's also a great advertising tool because people come to an event and then they're like, oh, I can stay here next time I'm around.
yes, yes. Yeah. So I think we're going to really target that market and, you know, hopefully expand more that way.
Yeah.
It's more profitable for us as a business
Yeah.
to do that. So,
If,
yeah, that's
if I
kind of
can
our
offer
goal.
you a slight little bit of business coaching while we do this call
Sure.
on that side of the things, it's every day it's someone's birthday. So don't get sidetracked by just weddings, right?
Absolutely. You're
So if
right.
you start doing a cool one little ad with some birthday music in the background and a lifestyle going on the property of people having fun, you can do it with your family and do the ad with your family and see where it
That's a
goes,
great
right?
idea. Yep.
Yeah. And then when people come, they're like, "Oh, I saw you on the ad," and then they see that it's a really well-run, family-oiled machine, and
Right.
everyone's involved, like Nash and your husband, right?
Yeah.
And if I'd like to talk about Nash a little bit, because I know once
Sure.
you finished your program, you ended up getting Nash the same program, or you got him the stocks and
Yes.
TFSA program just right after for Christmas, and would like for you to comment and talk a little bit about his journey.
Well, Nash is 25. He'll be 26. Well, yeah, he turned 25 in August. So he hasn't really had much of a financial journey, so to speak. And I thought that at his age, I mean, with the knowledge you gave me at my age, I thought, what can this do for him at 25?
Hmm.
And that's life changing for someone that age to have a better handle on money and understand how it can work for him.
Right.
So
And
he started, he's got some stuff going now and has a TFSA. And
good.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's just sometimes things don't happen in the speed and the timely manner that we always hope for our kids and for ourselves. But it's these little steps in life that kind of get us to the end of where we want to we want to be. I
absolutely.
spoke to someone today about setting goals for ourselves, and it was a comment about setting I like to set small goals for myself so I'm not disappointed. Well, that was the comment. For me, I like to set big goals for myself and be okay with only getting half of it. And then that's okay enough for me too, right?
Yeah. And that's a totally different way to look at it, but I think a better way.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of some of the things I mentioned to Nash, like if you work hard at a young age and you stick to it and you don't spend that money on useless things and you put it into great building assets like the S&P 500 and Bitcoin, you have the best 501 assets in the world. So like, and you just never waver from that, and you'll beat every single hedge fund that invests for investors' money and takes a lot of your gains from you, right?
Right.
So it's kind of a no-brainer, but you have to live it, and you got to put in that work and feel what it's like to buy nothing with your time, but growing assets. And when I say that, it's you work for your money. So basically, you're buying things with your time, right?
With
You're
your time
exchanging time for things. It's
for doll. Yeah.
Yeah, and you either exchange it for fun things or things that'll allow you to do fun things forever, which is growing assets and things like that, right?
Yeah, it is fun. It's fun to watch. And, I get up, that's the first thing I check every day. And some
Me
days it's
too.
not a happy story, but,
No.
it is what it is, right?
So you said you were 56. I got that age number right.
7.
57. Okay. So 57, and that's okay. At least I didn't say 58, right?
No,
So,
you're lucky.
okay. All right. So at 57, what gives you the conviction to trust and go not all in, but allocate percentages of your portfolio to Bitcoin and other altcoins?
I have followed the Bitcoin journey for many years, and I've done my research lately, and I've learned a lot through our group and through other online forums. And I truly believe that this is where we're headed, and it's not going away. It's
Mm-hmm.
not, is it going to go cheaper? Probably. But Bitcoin is going to be something that people are going to start using to purchase things. They already do. And it's just going to become more accepted worldwide, I think. After January 20th, I think you're going to see a big push in the crypto world.
And you've mentioned a very key date, and so what date is that? Well, you're
Oh,
mentioning a date. Some people follow useless things on social media, not
no, yeah,
financial world changing things.
that is the day the new president elect comes into play. So I think President Trump, he's very business minded and has the business acumen, and he believes in it.
Right. So are you generally following President Trump's words now on crypto, and it gives you more conviction, or does it give you less?
I think it gives me more conviction because he pulls a lot of power, right? He has a lot of weight, and the decision makers out there are going to listen to him.
Right. And I think
Yeah,
what's really interesting is that it seems like no one is getting a job right now if you're not pro crypto, and like pro crypto, like a maxi pro crypto, like,
right.
and have a lot of knowledge in it and stuff like this. I'm always thinking to myself what it must be like to be Michael Saylor right now.
Our world's
Just to be
changed.
like, yeah,
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
yeah, to have like $19 billion, I believe it is, or I think it's actually $40 billion or $39 billion in Bitcoin right now. And his company that's trading on the NASDAQ is I believe it's just under 100 billion, or just surpassed 100 billion. So like he has basically half of his whole market cap of his company. He has it already in
Is
that
in
worth,
crypto.
just sitting there.
Yeah.
It's like he's got an infant glitch, and I kind of feel silly not betting on him a little sooner, but it's never too late to ride that wave, right? So,
No, I don't
you
think
know.
so.
So if I were to tell you that I truly believe that Bitcoin right now is sitting at a 90% discount, how would you feel about that statement?
I would tend to agree with you. I mean, we've seen the fluctuations, and I probably 100 grand is a deal now, right?
Yeah. I totally think 100,000 for a Bitcoin is a deal at this point. Um, Especially when you understand market cap and how that all plays out, right?
Yes.
So does Bitcoin get to the same market cap as gold is today? Yes. Gold will be at a higher market cap then when that happens. But
Right.
if we're looking at it today, yes. So if that's the case, then yes, then I think that we are at a massive discount. Could you be down 20, 30, 40, 50% if you got in right now? What's the answer, do you think, to that one?
I
After your crypto journey for the last 4 years?
I don't think so. I don't think this is going down. I
Not this
really
time, eh?
No, I don't think so. Again, I think you're going to see those market fluctuations, but I don't think that it's going to go like it. We're not going to see it at 29,000 or 50,000 ever again.
Wow, that's a nice statement. I'm all for that. Except I'm greedy and I want to buy more, Darlene. So
I
like,
do
how,
too. I wish
how
it
do
would
we get
go
this thing?
down.
How do we get this thing to come back down to 50 just for a couple of days? Not too long,
No, no,
but
just a few days, right?
yeah. I think it's very important though to understand that in every election and every 4-year presidential cycle and all these things, markets still have pullbacks and fluctuations.
Yep.
And uh, I think it's financially irresponsible, in my own opinion, to think that Bitcoin is just going to continuously go to the moon. Uh, I do believe we can see a 75, 50K Bitcoin again if there's a lot of like fuckery going on before Christmas and Trump taking over.
Yeah,
And then also too, it's we got to remember like the buy the rumor, sell the news. So like a lot
right.
of him being taken over presidency and all that is priced in now. So do we get like a 150K and then we fall back down to like 75K from 150? To me, that sounds very reasonable.
I think that's very plausible. Yep.
Yeah. So it's just how do we play that, and how do we get set up for that, especially if we're new to investing, new to Bitcoin, new to the stock market and all these things, right? And I always tell people time in is so much better than trying to time the market.
Yes.
So if you have patience within you and you take some good coaching and some good training and you get some education and understand the terms that you're dealing with and some basic strategies like a dollar cost average strategy and things like this,
Yep.
it will save you so much pain and sleepless nights. And yeah, because like
Yes.
we saw some 30% dips that just recovered back further than when they fell in
Yes.
like 3 days here. So which that's a great dip buy if anyone got some of those in the last couple of days. But
You really have to be watching, right? And that's
yeah,
something I've learned. It can vary in an hour. It can vary in a minute.
yeah,
Um,
it can.
so I'm not where you are that I'm on there watching forever. I'm not there.
Well,
But
we're
I'm
over.
really happy with my journey, and
Yeah,
I
well,
like
yeah,
putting the money in every week and doing it
yeah.
that's, to me, that's really been working well.
So that's something then I guess that you've adopted as a dollar cost average
Yes.
strategy in the projects you believe in. You're
Yes.
not looking at the price, you're thinking long term.
I think, well, for some, yes.
Yeah.
Bitcoin, when I had like a chunk of money, I need to buy some more.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah. Yeah. I've been having that conversation with my wife a lot lately, and what we should be doing with all of our altcoins when they either come back in profit from not timing them right, or when they double, or when they at least are in profit a little bit, and just roll all of those smaller increments that are relative to my Bitcoin,
Yep.
and just roll them into Bitcoin and
It's so funny you say that because I
call
was
it a day.
looking at mine last night going, I should just move these little ones and just, throw it all there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, I wish I would have not chased all the smaller coins in the beginning, thinking that because they're so small, all small caps, that they're just going to change my life so fast overnight. And, sticking to Bitcoin, just to Bitcoin, and every month, every week buying, like, instead of spreading around and thinking, have I had all these great ideas,
Yep.
I'd be a lot further right now than I am. Yeah, I'm happy with where I am, but I'd be a lot further today than if I just stuck to the one thing.
Right. But that's how you learn. And now that's what you can pass on to someone else, right?
There you go. I think
Yep.
Michael Saylor said it best a couple weeks ago. I saw a video or reel, and he said, why would I diversify my money and my time? Why would I go buy other projects? Because he's always getting asked, are you buying Ethereum, Chainlink, Solana, all these other projects? And he's like, why? He's
Why
like,
would I?
Bitcoin gives me 20% a year annual rate of return, and it's done 46% up until today, so like, no, I'm good with that, and he just raised another $3 billion to buy some more, at $95,000. So I don't think he's worrying about the price.
No,
So
no,
this
not
is
at all.
this is what helps me with my conviction, and also too that I hear like states and governments thinking about selling their gold reserves to buy Bitcoin.
To buy Bitcoin, yes,
So it just
yes.
kind of reiterates, stay on the path you're on, young man. You're doing just fine.
Yep.
Try to make more money every month and every day with your time, and keep buying these things, and it's going to change your family's life forever. So
Absolutely. And for me, I'm looking at, long term, generational wealth. I want to retire soon.
yeah.
So, you know, um, maybe a little bit different goals, but at the end, still the same, freedom from
Oh,
having
for
to
sure.
do a job, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So as a family, do you guys sit down and discuss different plans for the business, different stocks, different cryptos? Is that new vocabulary now that you've kind
It
of,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Nash and I talk about it a bit more when it comes to the stocks and crypto. Bob has 1,000,001 ideas for the business,
Mhm.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
And
So now Bob just needs to narrow it down to one or two and go all
yeah,
in.
and go all in.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's it.
Yes. He's listening, by the way.
All right. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Joe.
No, that's great.
Yes. So, and like he had a great idea. The little boards that are painted and you stick your face in them to take pictures?
Yep.
Let's make some moose and bear and funny
Yeah.
ones and stick them along the trails at
Yeah.
little vantage points. So,
Oh, I
yeah.
just had so many great ideas for you because I'm in the military. You could set up all these cool little vantage points where there's questions and things and games,
To
and
go through. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can do workout stations in the summertime for
Have
people to come and do stay and just retreat and get away and turn off their cellulars, and it's like a cellular free retreat.
Look at you go. That's a great idea too. See, we got to write all these down and
Well, that's why we have Nifty Campus, and we can talk about them at any time and brainstorm business ideas all
absolutely.
the time. So that's what I love about Nifty, and I'm so excited to, well, I've been talking about it now, retire in the next 6 months, and
Yeah.
be able to go full time on our campaigns for ads, and being able to go door to door and sell myself to families, and which I'm totally, humiliation is a thing for me, and I'm willing to do it, and I'm going to go and knock on those doors, and um, yeah, and just try to spread the importance of learning financial independence as a family.
Um, Cute story for you. We were away on the weekend with another family and they have 3 boys. And I sat in the back with the youngest one all the way home. I got a ride home with them from North Bay. And he wanted to know all about crypto and stocks. And so I started filling him in and he says, I want to take all my money I have right now. I want to start doing that.
Yep.
And I'm going to talk to your mom and dad.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's so cool to see the interest. And he's 12, you know?
Well, I said it in a podcast with, I believe it was Michael
With
Brooks.
Michael.
You can be 50, 60, 30, you can be 10. It just, how old are you? Okay, this is the approach we got to take.
Right.
And it starts with your parents, and then it starts with, well, do your parents believe in investing in stocks and crypto? Because if they don't, well, maybe you're going to be the one to educate them through this process, because they
Yes.
need that education too.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
I just
Yeah.
did a coaching call recently with a 21-year-old young man. He had over funded his TFSA. So cool. You
Yeah.
got enough to do that. But hey, we need to dial this back because you're doing things a little wrong, and you've now incurred some penalties. And now we need to get that money out and go open up a cash account over here, because you're doing great. Because now you're maxing, and you now are having a money problem, young man. You don't know what to do with all that extra money.
That's a good problem at that age.
Right. Right.
Yes.
And yesterday I did a discovery call, which I do free discovery calls with
Yeah.
anyone, a 10-minute discovery call. 19 years old, and was already thinking about buying the dip on Bitcoin 2 years ago, and had enough to buy a full one then. Right. So um, education in the family is so important, because
It is.
these opportunities, they don't always come. And when they do, and you're ready for them and you don't take them, sometimes it's your story for the rest of your life, and you live
That's
through it.
right.
Right.
That's
So
right.
execution is something we talk about in day one with coaching calls in our classes. And if you don't execute on your journey, well then, and on your ideas, well, I like to say you're just a dude in a chair. Right. So,
Right. Right.
and you're not doing anything with your time. So
It's very true.
yeah. All
Very
right. So,
true.
so to wrap up, at the end of 2025, where do you see Bitcoin? We'll do a prediction,
Okay.
and then I'll ask you one more question to wrap up.
Okay. Bitcoin, I think we're going to see some real ups and downs next year, I think, with just with the way the world is, all the things happening. So end of the year, I'm going to say we're probably around where we are now.
Oh, wow. That's the first person to tell me that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I'll say this time next year, I think we have hit 175K, but we close somewhere between 120 and 150.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking we close at around 130 at the end of the year, but we have already made a new all-time high before that, about
Right.
150.
Okay.
And if
I
that
can't wait to see how it ends up now.
and if that happens, I think Chainlink could definitely close above 100K, $100 a token by the end of next year.
I still love my XRP. Sorry.
All
Only
right.
because it made me really good money.
Oh, I
'Cause
know.
I
I
bought
missed
it
it.
so cheap.
It's just because it just was dangling there for like a little treat that you couldn't have. It was like you walk by and your favorite treat's in the window, and it's like, no, you can't have it, young man. And it was there for like 2 years. So I was like, I'm bored, man. I'm going somewhere else.
I need something different.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
know what though? Had I done the same thing, you know what? Looking back, had I got in XRP, I would have done the same thing I just did with my AVAX and my Chainlink. I would have sold
Sold
my
it.
initial investment on
Yep.
the double up, and now have a shit ton of tokens on the house.
Yeah. And that's
So
what I did. And that's what really made me be like, okay, I actually made money, like real cash money. I just bought my husband a new set of winter tires for his car.
wow,
That didn't cost me a penny. Thanks,
wow.
crypto,
I
right?
mean, that's cool. I remember one time Bob said, "Hey, you just need some success stories, Joel." Well, I think we're talking about one right now.
There you
Because
go.
I remember you
Awesome.
sending me your portfolio, and don't quote me. I mean, I might be wrong here, but I feel like overall that sucker is up around 40 to 50% if you average it all together.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
About
probably what
that.
your overall portfolio is at, sitting roughly.
Yeah,
That's
it's
amazing.
doing pretty okay. I'm really
Yeah,
happy with the journey. And like I said, I did have a couple losses. I sold, got rid of it. It's like that was a bad decision,
yeah,
but I learned from it.
yeah. I was
And
looking at the XRP that I sent you for a referral
yes,
recently, and like the XRP I bought, I think I bought like $50 and sent you $25,
25.
and
Yep.
now my 25 that I still had is more than 50.
I know.
So I'm like, this is great. I'm like, I didn't even pay her for that referral. She doubled her money on her referral. This
Yeah,
thing's working, man. This thing's working.
it's working. It's working great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's success mean to Darlene?
Success to me is being happy with everything in my surroundings, my family, um, my peace, my own inner peace. Um, a healthy bank account helps, but
Yeah.
that doesn't define success to me.
Right.
I think success comes from within,
Hmm.
and we definitely are hard on ourselves, and we need to recognize these kind of things as a success. It doesn't have to be, $1 million win, or, it can be those small little gains every day. Those are successes.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because I think you see it in the Discord sometimes where, like, my portfolio because I'm public about with the members because
Yes.
transparency is huge. So when I have these big gains, but you can see when I'm frustrated at losing a stupid $100 little trade on KuCoin,
Yes.
you know? So it's like, man, you just made like 20K in like 5 minutes, bro. Like you need to slow down and not be so upset. But it's like,
Exactly,
no,
and be
man, I want
very
to win. I
happy.
want to beat this thing, right?
I know,
And I
but I
have a
think
goal.
we really need to enjoy those small little gains more,
There you go.
and those
Yeah.
small gains add up to big ones at the end of the day.
Well, the small, like playing in the small account for me is so much more exhilarating than, you know, risking a shit ton of money, and I know people take $1,000 and turn it into $1 million
Yeah,
every year, right? And I want to be one of those too, right? It's too easy to take 500 grand, go turn it into a mill. That's easy. Take $1,000 and go turn it into a mill, and then tell me how that journey went, right?
exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
And like, I'll tell you, I went from $500 to 900 down to 300. When I was in Portugal, I made a trade and I said, I'm going to trade it and forget it. When I got home, it was back up to 500. Then since being at home, I got it to 1,000 because I want to start at 500 and get it to a
get
million.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah. And now I got it all the way back down to 300. Now it's back up to 6. So
Oh, jeez.
clearly I'm having a ton of fun and my strategy is not working. So
But as long as the journey's fun, I mean, that counts too, right?
exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
that's
Well,
good.
I wanted to thank you for putting your faith in in me first of all, and also joining Nifty Campus and helping other members with being encouraging with their successes and just being involved in the community.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's a real pleasure having gotten to know you. And this was probably one of the best decisions I made for
wow,
myself and my family.
that's sweet. Well, thank you for that,
You're
and
welcome.
we'll have many more chats in the future.
We
And
will.
next time I'm in Sudbury, I'll hope to be able to come out and say hello.
That would be awesome. We'd love to see you.
All right, take care.
Okay. Bye, Joel.